I have to get the vapor, right? Yeah, I sure hope I don't lose, man. I'm playing with the clips, right?
It's the Clippers.
And all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Nah, I ain't even finna do shit in here. I just wanted to hit this brewski one time. Excuse me.
And the City Angels for a little conference action here at the Staples Center. It's the end of a string of away games for the Pacers as they look forward to returning home after this one. Well, it's been an improvement this year over the last season. They made a lot of adjustments, and happy to see that they translate into some tangible results.
They've been playing a lot of basketball lately, Kevin. This is their third game in 4 days. The league didn't make it easy for them when they set up a schedule like this.
Yeah, but every team deals with this. They might need to lean on their bench a bit more, but they can't make any excuses.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. We've got George Hill. Hill is up there with Allen. Then it's Paul George. And it's Ellis at the 2. Here's Griffin. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. Offense is what drives the Clippers, and they were fantastic at it last season. Easily one of the most exciting teams to watch with their high-flying and high-scoring act and number 1 in terms of efficiency.
Yeah, and it's not just the flash.
Let's go,
Clippers on offense. You talked about their efficiency on the offensive end. Led the league in points scored per 100 possessions at 109.8.
Oh.
Hill kicks to Hill.
Good pass.
You know, he might be small for a center, but it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building.
Ah, that's
It's
my
stolen by
fault.
Hill.
Hitting the damn turbo.
Now here's Hill, the fast break opportunity. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Crawford with the ball. Picked up by Ellis. Ball passes to Jordan. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Ooh, quick hands on the steal and just bad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
And the call will be against George Hill. That is his first foul of the game. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Picked by Griffin. Feeds to Crawford. The kick out to Pierce. Offline with his three.
Come on, that should have been money.
Los Angeles on D. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last
Great
game.
shot.
They drew a lot of fouls in that game, guys, and that was the one area that really stood out when you watched it.
Just lack discipline defensively, Greg. I mean, that's why they got a lot of free points at the charity stripe.
Now Pierce. Paul George missing from long range. Pierce dishes to Crawford. Just 3 to shoot. Again, Los Angeles.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
He had a great field goal percentage to start exactly what they were hoping for.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block,
Miss another.
force them to the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
Prevent
shit.
the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Mahimi comes in for Hill, and it's Buttinger in for Lavoy Allen. The feed now to Buttinger, and the foul called out.
Ah, they called it on blade.
That's his first foul.
And something that's been whispered about around the NBA is expansion. We know there are some markets that want desperately to have an NBA team. The NBA might not be at 30 teams for the foreseeable future. Oh, terrific work finishing a soft move like that. The finger roll.
Crawford drives in. Stolen by Ellis.
That's my fault. I'm
And
trying
here's
to
the
show
fast
up.
break. And here they go. Hill,
Oh,
no good.
Oh, you stop.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
There are markets in the U.S. that want an NBA team. Seattle, which has been a great NBA friend, has been trying to get a team back since the Sonics left for Oklahoma City.
Clearly, Seattle's the lead name domestically. The NBA is also talking about adding the European division. A lot of different options for expansion. Don't think any will be acted on anytime soon.
Here's Paul. Following the score by Indiana. Beyond the arc. Count the bucket.
Oh, they're getting
Got his
fancy.
first 3 points of the game.
Score real quick.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
The dish out to Mahimi. And stolen by Jordan. And here we go. Fast break. Crawford's got it. And it's Paul penetrating. Uncovered. It's hauled in by Buttinger.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock.
That was a
You know, they've
good
scored
move.
several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
Pass to Griffin. 1 second left. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we reached the end of the first quarter. The Clippers lead by 6. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles.
supposed to be 10.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game. How it's been going for the Clippers.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And also, they're jumping on a lot of turnovers, making sure they turn them into points at the other end.
On the court for the Pacers as our second quarter gets underway. Hill is up there with Allen. Then there's C.J. Miles. Then there's Rodney Stuckey. And it's Buttinger in at the point. Indiana didn't have a great record on the road last season. Only went Clark 15-26 on the year, and it cost them down the stretch.
It really did, Kevin. I mean, the Pacers had a bumpy year with all of the injuries, particularly with George being out for most of the year. His absence was most noted in those tough road games.
Man, come on, too good.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
On the wing, Stevenson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. Taking a look at Cleveland. And, of course, the Clippers tied up with them. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. That free throw missing.
Oh, that's up.
Yes, fans, Clark, and the one team they view as floppers is the Clippers. I don't like that word, but just kind of came out. Whether that is fair or not is up for debate, but it is certainly, I think, the perception.
And I think there's some truth to that perception. I mean, multiple players have received fines for flopping on their roster. I mean, you can't run away from that, and the fans remember it, too.
Oh, they do, yes, sir. Allen's shot is off. Clippers leading by 4. Stevenson outside. Dishes to Reddick. Launches a 3. Count the bucket. Reddick's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
And for the Clippers and flopping, part of it might just be reputation. Whenever anyone hits the deck on their team, fans might be quick to kind of condemn that as a flop.
Los Angeles has gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Inside.
Oh, I thought I hit the wrong.
And stolen by Stuckey. The big dunk at the end of the break.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug,
wrong
like that are
button.
the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
There's the pick. 6 to shoot. And stolen by Stuckey. And here we go. And then Miles with the dunk.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time. You know, the Clippers were the darlings of the NBA as they improved and made strides, but I think the flopping has kind of diminished that now, that love affair. Being labeled a group of floppers can certainly stifle your popularity.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Yeah, you can see they gave up a lot of points here in this run, and he just wants to break the momentum before this thing gets out of hand.
And, you know, that's a huge part of a coach's job, making sure you keep your guys in the best position possible at all times. So I like this timeout.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers.
Yeah,
and a change for the Pacers. Hill, he's checked in for Chase Buttinger.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
Los Angeles shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
You know, they've changed their game here in the second, getting a little bit more physical, playing with some toughness now.
And I'm looking for them to increase that lead if they can keep getting to the free throw line.
Come on, give me the ball.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Come on, that's
It's stolen by Hill. He kicks it to Hill.
ridiculous, dude.
Allen outside. Wide open look.
Shot.
And it comes off the front of the rim.
Obviously, they're evenly matched teams on the inside. The rebound
acting like
numbers
Chris
are
Paul.
very
Come
even.
on, man.
Yeah,
I can't pass.
impressive effort from both on the back.
They acting like Chris Paul is ahead second quarter.
And what's your take, guys, in the hustle steps for the Pacers?
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
And it's Rodney Stuckey with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And just over 3.5 minutes play here in the second quarter. Outside Pierce. Shot clock at 5. Pacers with the rebound. This game coming after a loss against the Jazz.
Yeah, foul trouble early on, I thought, set the tone in that game, and it just made it difficult for them to get over the hump.
Yeah, it really got them out of sync, and that hurt them big time. Forced them to go much deeper into their bench than they would have liked to. Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Miami's checked in for Allen. Paul George comes in for C.J. Miles. And it's Ellison for Rodney Stuckey.
Let's see where the Pacers are, Kevin, in terms of the NBA rankings right now. First in points off turnovers. Second in three-point field goal percentage. And they also show up as a top 5 team in steals. Young, aggressive, and athletic, getting into the passing lane.
And looking at their ranking in points off turnovers, numero uno. And that's how you demoralize an opponent. Make them pay for every mistake.
Here's Mahimi.
It's a good shot.
And he drops in the layup off the glass. Mahimi's got his first basket. And Doc Rivers passed the 700-win mark as a coach last season. He's climbing the ladder in career wins.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know that Doc oftentimes gets enough credit for the type of coach he is. I mean, as a coach, he is well over 500 in terms of his career win percentage. And how about over 500 in playoff games as well? They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight.
Oh, come on,
They got to
Blake.
offer more resistance here.
He lobs it up. And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
Jordan. And Jordan sends it back. And the first half is now in the books. Indiana out in front. They finish off the second quarter with an energy burst. A 19-6 run. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Took off the second quarter. God damn.
Now the second half about to start. Up and begin anyway. And the third quarter about ready to get underway. Indiana leading by 7. Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Oh, come on.
In there after 1 and 2. And it's Pierce in the small forward. That's who's out there for the Clippers.
They're taking it to the rack against the big fella.
When you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
And, you know, the Pacers have made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
J.J. Redick's checked in for Paul Pierce. Clippers trail by 9. Redick with the 3. And
shooting with the square button from now on, dude.
Redick's got
I
6.
will not be shooting with the stick anymore.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation.
Yep, good D. Good defense,
You would
baby.
have to imagine the goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
Los Angeles has gone a very strong 4 for 5 from three-point land in the ball game.
Ah, man.
By Hill.
I didn't mean to do that.
One-on-one here. They grab their own miss. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Tried to do a floater, man.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Guys, they are getting exposed in terms of their low post defense.
They set the screen. And
Great pass. Great pass.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed it.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put in on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season.
Yeah, there's Ellis. That's good on the assist by Hill. Ellis has got the lead up to 9 now for the Pacers. Crawford with the ball. George picks him up. A 3-ball. Crawford, no luck. The Pacers have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. And George gets it to go.
Fuck out of here,
that bucket
man.
adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle at their offensive end.
Paul is screen on Allen. Griffin. And he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Here's Paul. After Jordan Hill's bucket.
Money, Blake.
Counted,
It's money, Blake.
Cut down now
It's
to just
money
9
all
in the
day.
basket from Blake Griffin.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Allen left side.
Ah, good pass.
And Hill throws it down.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-handed.
I blocked that shit too, man. Get the fuck out of
And I tell
here.
you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
And it's the Clippers with the ball. The Pacers making the shot. Griffin kicks to Paul. A three-pointer off the mark. Pacers leading by 11. It's deflected. Crawford with the steal. Now here's Redick, the fast break opportunity.
Ooh.
1:07 left to play here in the third. Off his leg.
Thirsty,
And it's
man.
being called a kickball. A big
Thirsty
group
as hell
substitution
for the
here for
ball.
the Clippers. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Jordan. Smith comes in for Blake Griffin. Johnson, he's checked in for Jamal Crawford. Lance Stevenson subbed in for Chris Paul. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Mahinmi's checked in for Hill. Budinger comes in for George. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Ellis. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Hill. Budinger, the pass to Miles. To the left side wing. And Aldridge sends it back. Johnson against Budinger. Here's Stevenson. Can't hit.
Oh, come on,
the Pacers
man.
will take it the other way. Last time they met was in Los Angeles, where they beat the Clippers.
And the previous meeting was a win for them and a huge day for the bench. The reserves really stepped it up with their scoring.
Greg, we know how important it is when you can go to your reserves without much drop-off in production. It gives you a big advantage. I know they'd love to see that again tonight.
Now here's Stuckey. Following the miss by Lance Stevenson. 4 on the clock. Stuckey.
It's great defense. It's great home ball defense, by the way. Money.
Got it off in time, but it's no good. And we've reached the end of the third. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Clippers trail by 9. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of catering. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for Indiana, they've got Ellis. C.J. Miles is out there with Paul George. Then there's Ian Mahinmi, and it's Stuckey in the wall.
Paul Pierce.
And he gets it to go. Pierce has got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Los Angeles. Paul dishes to Jordan. Pierce kicks to Griffin. The kick out to Pierce.
Paul Pierce. Hey, he clutched that fourth quarter, dude.
Confident and composed on the three-point shot at a critical juncture. Clutch.
The pass to Mahinmi.
I seen who you was trying to pass it to. 2K be on bullshit.
Mulligan, Stuckey to the paint.
I'm not jumping no more.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Now here's Jordan. It's stolen by Mahinmi.
God.
And now Ellis running the floor all by himself. Pierce kicks to Griffin.
I don't know if this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on. Clark, he had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, hey. He's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one, although if he missed it, I might have.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
You know, obviously, there's some things out there he does not like and wants to talk it over.
Well, Greg, you've played, and you envision yourself as a coach as well. So, sometimes you need to make some adjustments.
Catch up with Doris from the sideline.
No need to pause, man.
I was able to listen
This
in
is
on
my
what Frank Vogel
console.
had to say
I'll
to his
take as
team.
long as I want.
His advice clear cut. I want to see you playing to win, not playing not to lose. I don't care what the lead is. We do not back off.
This shit is so fucking
Hill
gay,
is checked
man.
in for
DeAndre
the
is not that slow, man.
Hill comes in for Rodney Stuckey.
Boy, he
money.
threw out some punishment with that two-hand throw
He
down.
clutched for a
Now's
quarter,
the
B.
time to do it. Continue
Trying to
to
tell
attack that rim.
Now
Yo.
here is George. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got his 7th assist in the game.
Boy, this game has really started to heat up. I didn't think it could get any more high scoring than it already was.
Well, I tell you what, I don't mind it. You don't either, it sounds like. Good offense is
Oh,
entertaining,
no.
and that's exactly what we're getting.
That's some bullshit.
That very well may put the finishing touch on this one. Not at all the time to get sloppy with the basketball.
And how about the killer instinct on that possession? Not running the clock, but pushing the ball and tacking points onto the lead.
And the Clippers call time here.
You know, he just like every other coach can't stand when the defense gives up points on the inside. And boy, are they struggling in there.
Yeah, well, they're getting pummeled in there. So you got to figure out a way to make some adjustments to try to change that around. And that's why he needed the timeout.
Clippers trail by 8. Jordan the screen. The kick out to Pierce. That one's good from the corner. Pierce has got 9 points now in the quarter.
And you know what?
I stole it, man.
From the
Come
first
on,
half.
Chico, with that
Flying
bullshit.
high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Here's the 3. Good, and Paul
That
gets
boy
the
is
assist.
clutch for a quarter, B. I'm trying
Paul's
to tell you.
got 6 assists in the game.
The offense is clicking for him this half. Absolutely clicking. I mean, everything on point and on target.
Get out of there, DeAndre.
Now here is Hill. There's a screen. Hill.
Oh, he can
tries
shoot
it.
that. He can shoot
Finds
it,
the
B.
shoot.
Yeah, the defender all
Shouldn't been no foul, but he
Greg,
can
he got
shoot
him
it.
good
He'll
there.
miss
I mean,
one.
that's why the shot was so far off.
Miss one.
And to look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Indiana.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
You know, they're taking care of business in the paint, too. Those are valuable points they've been getting down low.
The Pacers making a change here. Allen's checked in.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. And
Let me get that.
the assist.
And the call will be
Let me
against
get that,
George Hill. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. 1:12 left in the 4th. Paul kicks to Griffin. The kick out to Pierce.
Clutch.
Downtown. No good.
Clutch. Come
And
on.
it's the Pacers taking it the other way. They've led by as many as 11 points.
Look at that steal, B.
That's good from Allen on the assist by Hill.
What a
Yes, I need you to be
display
clutch.
he has put on here tonight.
Yeah, he's spoiling us, Greg. I mean, this is just another fantastic dime drop right there. That one certainly should make the highlight reel. How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move,
We
too,
need
Kevin?
that
Trying to
clutch,
send a
B.
message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Up the floor. Left side, Pierce. From the wing.
Oh, no, Pierce.
Awesome
Come on,
defense. I mean,
dog.
he'll hit those unless you're right
For
in his
real,
grill.
Pierce, man. You bogus as hell, Pierce.
George against Pierce. Here's Paul. It's good.
Oh, my, come on,
And it
man.
doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one.
Yeah, he is
Jamal, in one.
fun to watch.
In one, let's go, Jamal, let's
Real
go.
at full speed like that, man. It's
Let's
something to behold.
go.
It's the
Let's
first
go,
match
Jamal. We need
against
one more,
the
B.
one.
We need one more, B. Excellent release. Let's get it, baby.
How
Let's
fantastic
get it,
was that?
baby.
One mistake and the game's
It's
over.
looking
He
like
gets it done.
OT for you, B.
And the Pacers call time here.
It's looking like OT for you. Please do what I think you gonna do, man. Please do what I think you gonna do, man. Please do what I think you gonna do, man.
6 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Please do what I think you gonna do, yep. Yep. It's looking like OT for you.
Regulation is ended and we're heading to overtime. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Reliker just joining us. The intensity has really heated up in this one. As we watch this one go now to overtime.
Ah, shit.
Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go.
Nope.
Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. On the court for Indiana.
Miss one. Yeah, miss one. Yeah, miss one.
Then it's Ellis. Then it's George
Yeah, miss
Hill.
another one. Don't miss that other one. Miss that other one, dude.
And the second free throw, good.
Even with the miss, he got the big one there to put him in front.
LA's gone 6 of 11 when they're taking the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. And the call will be against George Hill. That's his third foul of the game.
Thirsty, man.
So it's the Clippers now.
Oh, I passed it. They
game.
bogus, man.
You know what? That passing lane
It's great
wasn't
extra
open
good
for
little
long.
pass,
He closed
man.
it down in a heartbeat there to get the steal.
And you've got to wonder just how big those points are going to be. A swing like that can decide a game.
And I wouldn't be surprised
Oh,
if
shit,
it
I
does.
just
The
shaved
steal
my
there, as
fucking
good as
game.
he play defensively as you're going to see.
Crawford with the
Shit,
steal.
I still might got a chance in this fucking game.
Finished off the break.
Let's get it.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal
Let's
spot,
get it, dude.
right where it needed to be.
Pacers shooting an impressive 65% having their way with this defense. It's Allen on the wing.
Oh, I couldn't get that with DeAndre, man.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Left side, Pierce.
He clutch. He clutch, B. He clutch, B.
Some hang time on
Trying
that
to tell you, boy, it's clutch, B. Don't let me get a stop. If I get a stop, I'm trying to take the lead and take off. I'm trying to tell you.
Those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
If I get a stop,
Also, the other on its heels. Let's see
I'm
how
taking over the game, B. He off.
They grab their own miss.
Ah, he off.
Allen's shot is off.
If I get a
The
stop,
Clippers trail.
told you if I what?
The ball
If I get a stop,
to take the lead.
I'm taking
It's
over
gonna
the
be two
game,
free
B.
throws. Drew contact on the shot. So the first one drops,
get it.
and that ties the game up.
Get a CP.
And Indiana making a change here.
Let's
George
get a
is checked in,
CP3.
and so making both free throws.
If I
That'll
get a
give
stop,
them the
I'm
lead.
taking over
No
the
problem for him
game,
there.
B.
You just
Trying to
know
tell you.
what the result's going to be when he steps to the line in a tight game like this.
Ah, get the fuck out of here, man. I was
They
right
don't
there.
get any bigger than that basket.
They needed it, Greg, and he gave it to him.
Jordan, the screen. Called. Kicks to Griffin.
Blake. Ah, Blake.
Job there of taking the arm and still able to finish.
Yeah, he imposed his will on the defense that time. He was not going to be denied right there.
We need that 4-point lead,
Those
B.
really critical moments in a tight
If
game
we
like
get a
this.
4-point lead, it's a wrap, B. It's over with.
Here's against George. On the wing hill.
Oh,
It's tipped.
that's game.
Crawford with the
That's
steal.
game. He jagged this game. Ah, he jagged this game. That's game. That's game. Hell of a comeback. Let's go. Fucking Clippers, B.
And over the big guy.
Them fucking Clippers, B. It's over with.
Time in the ball game to make it happen.
Ugh, good shit.
He's such a clutch shooter, Kevin. He just lives for the big shot.
23 seconds left to play in OT, and this battle continuing. Paul passes to Crawford. It's Pierce on the
Pierce
wing.
wide open too. Pierce was gonna take it. Pierce was gonna take it.
Crawford with the ball. And an intentional foul right there.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
Yeah, but Greg, they didn't really have
Give me
another
one,
option.
baby.
I mean, I thought they did a nice job getting it in his hands and making sure he was the guy
Give
who
me
go to
one,
the
baby.
line.
I mean, they gotta work for this. They gotta work for this. Yeah, you gotta work for this. Told you it's game, B. Let's go. Them Clippers came back. Overtime, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. I ain't even fucking with my clips out here, B.
And the Pacers call time here. They're behind by 3. 6 seconds left in overtime. Guys, what do you think?
And you know what? You got a couple options here. You can take the 3.
Don't worry about what I'm doing over here on my shit,
And, you know,
Worry
if it
about
opens
what
up
you
for them
doing.
inside, the quick 2 would be the way I would lean, Greg, but the foul has to come immediately after that.
Come on, y'all. Let's get it. You know who it's going to. You know who it's going to.
The drive by Ellis. And it's out of bounds.
It's game.
Last touch by
Bye-bye.
Ellis.
Get
Well,
off
that's
my
inexcusable to
console.
throw a pass that far off the mark.
Get off my console, dude. Hell of a comeback. Hell of a comeback. Hell of a comeback.
Now here's Paul. So it's the Clippers taking the win in a close one. They escaped with a victory, although they needed Clark an extra period to get it done.
Well, I think it was one heck of a ball game. Both teams gave great effort, and the bounces just went their way in overtime.
And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And coming
Let's
up next, the
fucking
postgame
get it,
show with Ernie
dude.
Johnson, Shaq, and Kenny the Jet.
Give me the fucking trophy, B. Give me the trophy, B. Real shit. I told him fourth quarter Pierce clutch. He's always clutch in the fourth quarter for some reason, B. Let me check out his badge, man. I'm telling you, fourth quarter, that boy do his thing every fucking time, B.